Hey y'all, this is Slikk here, and right now we're gonna talk about building your own Fender-style bass guitar. Now, why would I want to build myself a bass? To me it's quite simple. When I first started looking around for precision basses, because I'm just a sucker for P basses, there was always some kind of problem with them. It was not the right wood combination, the body was ash and I wanted alder, with the neck being all maple or with rosewood, and it didn't fit with what I wanted. It wasn't the right pickups, it wasn't the right electronics, it wasn't the right color, and so forth and so on. So I thought I could find something, more complete, find the bass of my dreams. So I asked the sales rep what he had for me. And he handed me this, this one is rather beat up, which is the Fender Frontline. Let's open up the bass. Yeah. And trust me, this is the biggest piece of crap you'll ever read. There's nothing interesting in it at all. It's just all fluff talk. You can't. Let's just have some fun and take an example. Like open it up to, I don't know, precision bass. Here we go, 57 precision bass. Since its introduction in 1951, the precision bass has dramatically influenced the way we play and hear music. And in that half century, it has impacted every genre of music imaginable. I don't think Baroque music was very influenced by this. Our American vintage 57 precision bass guitar pays tribute to this landmark instrument with accurate detailing, including electric. This is just bullshit. It's just a plain ass 57 bass in the style of old precision bass, and you got this much text, and you just don't know. You don't know all the important information. How's the neck radius? What kind of pickup is in it? What is the inductance of this pickup? What are the parts? You just don't know. It's all fluff talk and page after page after page. So please don't read that shit. What is really important here is that it doesn't have to have that shiny Fender logo on the headstock of your bass for it to sound like a Fender, because to me it's just about Leo Fender, the man that invented the solid body electronics instruments 50 years ago, and not so much on the Fender, company. Talking about that, I don't have any griefs about other companies such as Yamaha, such as Ibanez, Spector, you name it. Those are all mighty fine instruments, but I just prefer Fender or Fender-style instruments. Back to what I was saying. Since I didn't find what I wanted in the store or in that Fender Frontline thing, I just started looking around on the internet. And of course I stumbled upon all those great luthier, custom, boutique, Fender-style bass makers, which are of course Sadowski, Lackland, Nordstrange, Cylinder, and so on. But I was like, damn, spending $4,000 on a bass ain't exactly my thing. I'm sure I can find another way of having a great sounding, great looking bass. Of course it will never be the same thing than a 4000 Sadowski, I'm aware of that, but it's really, really decent. I had this real good friend of mine who was very knowledgeable in all that guitar thing, which I just didn't know jack about it back in the day. And one day he just fucked up one of his straps real bad. The neck on it was shattered. And I'm like, man, you poor old Stratocaster, what you gonna do? You just throw it up in a dumpster or something? And he was like, no problem, man. I'm just gonna change up the neck and she'll be ready to go. And I'm like, you can't change the neck like that? Like a giant, some big piece of Meccano? And he tells me, well, of course you can. This is one of the most important thing on the Fender-style instrument. And that's where I realized how simple in its design how simple a Fender bass is. It's just a neck with 4 screws to a solid wood body. It's just that simple. But of course you gotta have the idea first. And I was speaking with my friend and he said, you should do a partscaster. And I'm like, man, I don't, what you talking about? I don't even know what a partscaster is. And he's like, there's 2 models of guitar made by Fender, which is the Stratocaster and Telecaster. And what we guitarists do is, when we want a real custom-made, custom-tailored instrument with everything, every little detail we want about it, instead of buying a big-name guitar, we just snatch one body there and one neck there and one pickup there and tuning machines there and so forth. Then we just mix it up together like some kind of big Frankenstein thing, and we call it a partscaster. You should do the same thing for bass, and that's what I did. Even though, as the tricky monster would say, the internet is your pawn, which is actually quite right. The internet is also really great for hunting, which is just hunting for bass bodies, bass pickups, bass necks, bass, all things bass actually. So let's just check out on the internet. Okay, we are on the internet now. As you can see, I've loaded up eBay US, which is my favorite hunting ground because you can find beautiful stuff for dirt cheap and get awesome deals really. I first recommend you to search for the body. So let's just type in P-bass body. Let's see what happens. Okay, now there's basically 2 ways of doing it. What I recommend is getting a pre-drill body. This is an undrill body. You only got the neck drill, but all the rest is up to you. For the pickguard, for the bridge, I really don't recommend this unless you really know what you're up to and what you're doing. I know I can't build myself a bass from this. As you can see, the prices are really not that expensive. It's about from $100 to 300, 400 maybe. This is the exact body I made my black and white P-bass from. This is the exact thing. And I can tell you, this is a very nice quality. I'm not sponsored or endorsed by anyone to say you this. Please believe me on that one. So my strategy was to basically get that body, the nice black paint with the pickguard, the screws, the drills, everything, and just ditch the electronics, the bridge, and the pickups, which are almost always scrap in this kind of preloaded bodies. For the neck, I like Mighty necks. These are some very nice quality necks. Again, I'm not endorsed by Mighty in any way. And what's real cool about this is that you can just choose what kind of neck you want on your bass for the same price. Be it fretless, be it maple, be it rosewood, be it a precision bass or a jazz bass neck. You just can do just about everything that's in your head, and it's real cool. What I like about it, Mighty necks, is that it's satin finish. There's no varnish on it. It's really smooth, and it's a 15-inch radius, which is a lot flatter than Fender's traditional 7-inch. This is the neck that I have on my 2 basses. Once you get this, you need some tuning machines and a bridge. A really good and cheap to manufacturer I recommend is Wilkinson. So just type Wilkinson bridge bass. Just as simple as it gets. And ta-da! You can choose from black, gold, or chrome. And I love the brass saddles on this one because it's really a nice tone, and it's usually something you find on higher priced basses. I like Wilkinson for tuning machines too. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Electronics and pickups. Whoops, YouTube time limit. Be sure to check part 2.